The markets for cryptocurrencies saw something genuinely extraordinary happen while most of the world was asleep, the sort of things that would startle even the most experienced buyers. During the night, when the cityscapes were still and dark and no one was on the trading floors, a digital revolution was happening beneath the surface of the metropolis. The digital currency known as Ripple XRP, which has been the subject of many discussions and has generated both optimism and skepticism, recently achieved something that many people thought was unachievable. Above its price soared to an amazing $25,000 in a matter of hours, which broke all the records and all the predictions. The surge was so abrupt and sharp that it almost seemed as though the market had altered the rules overnight. The previously unheard of increase happened during what are known as Asian trade hours, which are normally busy but rarely undergo such dramatic changes. Additionally, traders from all 7 nations hurried to act as soon as the news was released. The abrupt and notable increase in costs surprised a considerable number of people. A lot of work is now being done by analysts, investors, and other financial experts to figure out what caused this extraordinary spike. How did an asset suddenly transform into something genuinely exceptional at a time when some people thought it was just a speculative idea? There are numerous theories, but no firm answers exist. A pricing level that seemed like a distant fantasy suddenly materialized into a startling occurrence. It has startled financial networks worldwide and made people rethink their expectations in the world of digital assets. Let's talk about what caused this revolutionary change, why it matters, and how it might affect how we do business. The glacial pace of major developments such as this one is a hallmark of the world of global banking. Many months or perhaps years passed during the months-long preparation and negotiations that went on behind the scenes. Could you tell me what set it off, this whole sequence of events? What does that indicate in terms of the next several weeks? The explanation lies in a number of variables, such as growing market pressures, changing standards and laws, and a growing need for faster and more effective cross-border transactions. Major players are secretly getting ready to seize new opportunities in digital assets, suggesting that the way institutions function is going to undergo a big upheaval. According to reports, a sizable Asian sovereign wealth fund that may have its roots in Saudi Arabia or China has determined the settlement of significant amounts of commodities with XRP. This is a substantial divergence from the usual means of transaction settlement. We need to talk to you about some extremely critical information. This suggests that there is widespread use of XRP, which directly affects global trade and liquidity. In addition to potentially setting a new standard for how value is moved from one place to another, this action is likely to have an impact on markets worldwide. For a brief moment, the price flashed to 25,000 per XRP, which was an obvious proof massive demand for institutional purchases had been met. The price flashed at that level, according to screenshots taken from the trading platform, because the market responding liquidity at all price points. Market players are thrilled with the nearly vertical increase that happened instantly. Traders have been excited by this. Rumors and enthusiasm aren't the only things driving this expansion. Rather, it is a hint that a more profound change is occurring in the financial industry as starting to recognize the possible advantages of digital assets. Unlike shopping-driven pumps, this shift is driven by demand from institutions that have the power to affect markets rather than by shopping. These companies are doing more than just trying out novel concepts. Instead, companies are adding digital assets to their long-term portfolios, undertaking extensive research, and meticulously managing their resources. Because of their choices and investments, these big funds have influenced the world's currency and commodity markets over the years, changing the way entire markets move. Due to the way that digital assets are introduced into the global financial system will change significantly as a result of their choice to embrace XRP. This event also marks the start of a new era when traditional financial procedures and blockchain technology are getting more and more entwined. By choosing XRP, people are expressing their confidence in its infrastructure, ability to handle large transactions, and simple to understand regulations. To be honest, only a handful of cryptocurrencies can make this claim. These are not just predictions that are based on conjecture, but they also consider the market value of XRP, the volume of transactions, the liquidity, and the long-term goals of some of the biggest names in finance. The effects are not limited to cryptocurrency aficionados. They also affect monetary savings, international trade, and even central banks' decision-making processes. One of the biggest overnight price changes in global history is about to occur in the United States of America. Since the American markets haven't even arrived yet, time is of the essence. Across the globe, that is very likely. This development acts as a wake-up call for lawmakers because it forces governments and regulators to reevaluate how money functions at a time when technology improvements in the financial sector are happening at a rapid rate. The number of people wishing to purchase something is rising as a result of the market's frantic rush to own what is increasingly seen as the asset of the future. Actions by themselves are no longer enough when it comes to pricing. The most crucial thing is to fully understand the adoption process in the real world. Anything that happens from the announcement of fresh commodity settlements to the most recent information from large institutions has the ability to cause the markets to move quickly. To make decisions as quickly as possible and plan your next course of action, it is crucial to keep your attention on the work at hand. In fact, we should expect a lot more volatility as the day goes on and the U.S. markets start to open. There is a chance that some profit taking will take place after the initial surge of buyers. However, as long as there is interest from institutions keeps rising, the general trend is probably going to stay favorable. Let's now stand back and consider the bigger picture. This increase doesn't happen once. As an alternative, it represents a shift in how digital assets are used in global finance. When big institutions follow what the public wants, markets may change quickly, as evidenced by the abrupt rise in XRP's price to 25,000. What the lesson is nowadays cryptocurrency is not a side issue sector. Instead, it is quickly emerging as a crucial element of the world economy. This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance for traders, investors, and other financial industry professionals. Thank you for your attention. In addition to giving the video a thumbs up, you should click the follow button if you found it entertaining. Additionally, please make sure that the alerts are on so that you are notified as soon as I publish something new in the next movie. I'm excited to visit you once more and catch up with the recent reports that a buying frenzy will occur on a never-before-seen scale